In this video, I'm going to be showing you my full walkthrough digital portfolio webpage, and we'll give you some tips and tricks on how you can be able to leverage your own portfolio page. So enough talk, let's get right into this video. A few videos back, I did upload a portfolio website that I've made, and of course I deployed my web page before that. And right now I'm going to be showing you a full walkthrough and quick updates on how I made few changes. So let's get started. Right, here is my homepage, and I want to take you a glimpse look of what changes I made so far. In this case, I made quite a few changes in this web page right here, where I only included the tech stack and restructured the homepage a little, where the images are now close. Before that, the images and the text is wider, and right now it's close because I'm trying to scale the website, ensuring that it looks responsive. So if I click on mobile simulator, I've included mobile simulator on my extensions to check to see if it's responsive. So then afterwards, I click on activate mobile on tab, and now this is a mobile version of my website, as you can see here, where I made some changes but didn't include the image because it shows that if I only include the text, it's just more responsive than just including the image. And it's going to be really repetitive at the same time, where it's not really necessary to include the image in the mobile system. So then as well, in this section here, the header should stays like this, and as well the footer changes. I mean, it stays the same, but what I can improve more on is just trying to include more features and more information in that page so that the homepage is more attractive to the audience and the users as well. Additionally, if I refresh, it shows that there is an animation there. I use a typewriter as well on the top of the page, and as well fade animation so that all the text and the images appear naturally. So mainly all of the navigation pages I include an animation as well as buttons and responsive logos. And you're wondering, how do I get all of these features? I use these features, which is called Material UI. So, like I said, link in my description. I talked in my last video about MUI and how it's very effective on finding, of course, buttons, navigations, and as well as a scroll bar and menu icon, etc. So you can check them out. All the features, link in description. Let's zoom on to the about page. Here we go. So this is my about page so far, and the animations I displayed. I kept it consistent with my home page. I included the fade animation. So in here, I of course include a background image with a border and box shadow of course white. So then how I how I position the image is I include this code right here. So I'm on my Visual Studio Code. If I scroll down, and this is the style and design that I've of course optimized. So here it is. This is the image section right there. I've of course imported the SRC and include the width and the height, and border radius. I kept it 50% so that it includes a circle shape. And object fit, I make sure the image is now covered without overlapping. And the box shadow, I gave it, of course, whitish color because visually, if I look at it, it's white. but in this color is a different color, so it's light blue. And change the animation. So this is the animation I've included. So it's like post glow, infinite ease in, ease out, which is if I refresh the page, it shows the box shadow I've included and the animation is of course like glowing. So it's like slightly moving. And of course kept it as 700 pixels as the max width. So I kept it, consistent and of course in the center. And changes I've mainly include is the adding the tab page, the small tab. So then I've created a file, a layout folder, which is called. So I'll create a layout folder and include the small files there to, of course, represent the tabs. And this is the design of the about tabs as well, and include all of the uh, necessary properties in there. So I've used a little bit of JavaScript context where, of course, I have to define out what the theme, what the value is. So I might not go in too much depth. I might talk about in my next video, but this is what it looks like so far. So then it displays all of the information and the animation each of the page. So of course I use the fade animation most of it to make sure it looks consistent without using different phase, and it will look slightly different in that context. So this is my about page so far and without any changes. But this one here, I didn't do much really because I already include this as contact for me with. I included this box shadow here, but didn't do much change. But earlier on, I've included the tech stack here, but I decided to keep it on the home page so that it's more attraction, where mainly the users click on the home page and it's the most designated page to include. So in this deployment details here, it shows the home page. Whenever I'm of course deploying, it always deploys mainly on the home page, not on different websites. There's no audio unfortunately, but I'll give you a quick footage of my project page. Let's zoom on to the contact page. There we go. This is nice. So the changes I made so far is included this animation. Like I said, all of my tabs and the web pages include an animation list. So it just looks really, fancy. That include. And as well the web page, I think the tabs will look really responsive as well. If I scroll down, the footer looks the same and the grid icon is there. The one thing I need to improve on is to include the buttons as well. So that if I click on here, it of course automatically redirects. But everything else is look, responsive. I can include more changes into that, but that's of course fine. So if I click on mobile simulator from a mobile version, let's see what it looks like. And yeah, so far the mobile version, I have no worries or no issues about it. It looks fine to me. And yeah, the footer is still there, of course. And if I click on the menu icon, so in here, I made, of course, changes with the home page and rest of the tabs, where I include the background color and as well as some text right there. But everything else seems to, of course, look really responsive and clean. I can include I can include more features, but we'll get there in my next video, in a couple of videos coming up. So then let's say if I click on the YouTube profile, so then hopefully redirects to my YouTube page. And yes, so it redirects me back to my YouTube page, which is pretty cool. So make sure if you're new here, subscribe, reaching to 100 subscribers by the end of 2025. And yeah, well, overall, this is a solid progress I made so far. I made I include lots of features and changes, including buttons, pictures, images, animation content, and footer and navigation, etc. And mainly, I would of course like to improve is to include many more features, obviously, so that perhaps it wouldn't just look like a regular website. It's a website that shows value and, of course, true meaning to my own self that I've made, of course. So it's a good way of me to experiment and make lots of ideas that I can include. But overall, is a really solid progress, and of course, I'm proud of it of what I made. But I want to include more of it. But time will tell. Anyways, take care. This is your boy. I'm out. Peace.